What's up? I just got off work. All right, as I was saying before I went to go to work. Fuck, I gotta go to work 2 hours early tomorrow, which just sucks. The first raid I ever did was VOG, and I'm actually gonna make a video about this. But at the time, you know, when I had started playing Destiny, the game had already been out for a month. By the time I got to VOG, you know, another 2 or 3 weeks had passed. So, you know, the game had been out for nearly 2 months. VOG was on farm for most higher-end players. You know, obviously this is the beginning of Destiny. You know, the beginning of raiding. You know, it wasn't like Last Wish where everyone and their mom is farming the boss every single week. You know, it was a niche community of raiders, but amongst the niche community of raiders, all of them had done the raid, right? There were some people that were like, I ain't going to that fucking raid. What do you think I am, some kind of fucking MMO player? And they're in denial, and I bet they raid every week now. But, you know, back then, not everybody did the raid, but basically the people who tried to do the raid basically were able to get it down. And this is before hard mode came out, I think. I don't think hard mode had came out yet. Or if hard mode, no, hard mode, yeah, hard mode came out. Hard mode came out. So normal mode was pretty fucking easy. That being said, Destiny, you know, it did not receive updates very often in the beginning. And that being the case, even though the bosses were easy in Vault of Glass, players still decided that it was easier to find some fucking exploit and cheese the bosses, because people found out ways to solo Atheon and solo Templar, and since these soloing methods were actually faster than killing the bosses regularly, the people in 6-man groups basically just did the same thing and soloed them. You know, the solo players did, and it just killed the boss way faster. So let me walk you through my first run of Vault of Glass, alright? My first run of Vault of Glass was, we came up, we stepped on the pads, we charged up the spire opened, and I was like, oh my god, there's actually mechanics in this game, this is awesome! That was me. That was me flipping out that there was raids in Destiny. It was blowing my fucking mind. And we go into the Vault of Glass, they show me, I think they show me the exotic chest. Yeah, there's an exotic chest. Not an exotic chest, there's a chest right in the door. Everybody called it an exotic chest because there was an exotic chest. But, you know, it wasn't actually an exotic chest. So I go through the door. I think I might have actually seen Vault of Glass videos beforehand. I'm not too sure. Because I think I knew about the exotic chest. Either way, so we and by the way, I'm going to bring that up. Vault of Glass had the best exotic chest ever. So we go through the door and we do a little mini jumping puzzle, and then they're like, okay, there's the Templar's room, all right? Through that door, or if you jump down there, it's gonna start the boss. And I'm like, oh, the Templar? And they're like, no, it's gonna start the pre-encounter, right? Because there were 3 encounters in the Templar fight. There was the first encounter where there would be a spire in the middle of the room that you'd have to defend from Vex sacrificing themselves to it. And if like 3 or 5, I can't remember, Vex sacrificed themselves to like the conflux, then it was a wipe. So you just had to defeat waves of Vex as they were coming. You know, whatever, you mow them down. And then after that, there were 2 spires on the left and right side, you know, same deal, don't let 5 Vex sacrifice themselves. And then after that, there were all 3 spires were up, same deal, don't fucking let the Vex sacrifice themselves, and if you survived long enough, the encounter would end. And you get some like Ascended Shards or whatever. And then the next encounter would begin, which was Oracles, alright? And the way Oracles worked was, like little yellow squares would appear, and they'd bong, 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 bong. There were like 7 of them, and the 7 of them were in select locations around the room. And if you were good, if you had a good enough ear, you could tell where all the oracles were by the sound they made when they spawned. Basically, like, the way it was is the Templar would, at random points, the Templar would just summon his oracles. They'd appear around the room, and you just shoot them out and then break them. And at this time, the Templar was also in the middle of the room. He had spawned, and he had an invulnerability shield. You know, like Hydras in Destiny have 3 invulnerability shields spinning around them. Well, this one had an entire invulnerability shell. It wasn't spinning. It was just there. He was just invulnerable. It was like, okay, whatever. So he's just sitting there shooting at you and summoning his oracles, and you have to survive through, I think it was 7 waves. Like, in Age of Triumph, they changed it to 3 waves or something, where all 7 oracles would go off, and you have to kill all 7 oracles. It used to be like, the first oracle would appear, and then 2 more, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then all 7. And that was the oracle fight, right? You had to kill 1 oracle, then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then I think you had to kill 7 again, and then maybe even 1 more time after that, right? It was way fucking longer. But after you did that, the Templar despawned, and the encounter ended, and you got more Ascended Shards or whatever. And then in the middle of the room spawned the Relic, which was a big fucking shield. And it excuse me. And it worked the same way Sentinel Shield works. You know, attack-wise. You could swing with it. You could slam with it. But it was better than Sentinel Shield because it didn't have a mid-air swing cooldown. So you could swing mid-air indefinitely and fly through the air. So it was better than Sentinel Shield, funnily enough. And if you picked up the shield, you'd spawn Templar. And the way Templar worked is Templar would spawn his oracles. You know, like bong, bong, bong. He'd spawn 3 of them. You have to kill all 3 of his oracles. And then for just a second, you know, like, okay, the oracles are down. We don't have to worry about them. The guy with the shield would use his super to shoot basically a shield fucking spirit bomb at the Templar. It'd break his shield. And then you'd have to kill Templar as fast as you could. So everybody shoot him with Gallarhorn. And that was the Templar fight. That was the 3 mechanics. That was the 3 stages of the Templar fight. Here's what we did. Okay? We get to the room, and we do, okay, let's do confluxes. So somebody jumped down, they started the conflux encounter, and the central conflux started. And then he killed himself, and then he self-resurrected back at the top where we were all standing, and then everybody got sniper rifles and scout rifles and sniped the Vex that were coming so that nobody was under fire, and we had constant focus fire, so we completely obliterated that entire phase. Then, after that was over, somebody did the same thing. They jumped down, and they stayed down there, right? They stayed down there. They got in a little hidey hole and waited there the entire encounter while we were sniping like Vex and shit until the Oracle spawned. And their one purpose was to jump down and shoot the 2 oracles that we couldn't reach, right? And then you get back in his hidey hole. Then, after oracles, Templar spawned. And what we did for Templar was fucking retarded, okay? We used the solo strat for Templar, except we had 6 people, so we could do it instantly. Basically, the way it worked was Templar was a being. It was an enemy that existed the same way a Guardian exists, the same way everything exists, which means it's subjected to all in-game mechanics that affect beings, right? This includes kill boxes, all right? Right? He was basically just a giant fucking Vex, which means if he touched a kill box, he'd die and you'd beat the encounter, okay? So, what some guy did to solo the boss is he found out that if you use a pulse grenade or a solar grenade or a void pulse grenade, basically any of the grenades where you throw it and it's a big ball, any of those big ball grenades, any of those grenades, right? They found out that if you use those grenades and you throw it at Templar, it pushes him back just a little bit upon detonation. So what they'd do to solo Templar would they'd throw a grenade at them, they'd run off with the shield, and when the oracles come, they wouldn't kill the oracles because it turns out if you don't kill the oracles, what happens is they curse you and then the curse kills you. But the shield could make a bubble, and if you stood in the bubble, it cleansed the curse. So if you had the shield, you were immortal to the oracles. Alright? That was basically the mechanic. So what they would do is they'd throw a grenade at Templar, right? Pop Radiance and throw like 8 if they were a Sunsinger, right? Then they use their shield to cleanse themselves and wait for their grenade to cool down, and then they do it again, and they slowly push Templar back until they nudge him just a little boop off the cliff. And he'd fall off the cliff, right? He wouldn't teleport because he would still think that he's still standing up there, so he wouldn't have any reason to teleport. And then he'd touch the kill box, and since he's just a being, he'd die, and you'd win the encounter. And that's how you beat Templar, right? And that's how we beat Templar, all right? We got in a shield, right? We got in a shield. We saved ourselves from the oracles with the shield. I honestly thought that's how the encounter was supposed to happen. I thought you were supposed to ignore the oracles, cleanse yourselves with the shield, stack up, take down his shield, and then burst him the fuck down. Because that's what we did. Except we didn't burst him the fuck down. We knocked him off the cliff. And you know what I said? This is really lame. Like, I'd want to do this fight the regular way. I said that back in 2013. I said that. I said, this is really lame. I want to do the fight the real way. And they're like, maybe someday. But, you know, we farm this fight every day or every week. We don't feel like doing the fight correctly. We just want the loot. And it's so fucking annoying to me. It's like one powerful engram. It's one powerful engram. It's so annoying. But whatever. We beat Templar. Alright, and then we went to the legendary chest, or the exotic chest. It was the best exotic chest ever. After you beat Templar, the giant circular door behind him opens. You go through the door, you jump off a cliff, you land, and then you're in the Gorgon's, puzzle. Or you could go into a secret hidey hole, drop down into a little hidey hole, sneak through it, fall down again, fall down through a gigantic, huge room, fall down again, and then you find a fucking exotic chest. And I think I got a Gallarhorn out of it. Alright, I don't remember how I got Gallarhorn, but I got Gallarhorn around this time, maybe a bit before, maybe a bit after. I think it might have been from my first Nightfall. I don't remember when, but Gallarhorn was my second exotic weapon that I ever got. My first exotic I ever got was Invective. Second one I ever got was Sunbreakers. Third one I ever got was either Gallarhorn or Bad Juju. And then the fourth one I got was the other one. Alright? Anyways, we go through the maze. I thought the maze was actually pretty fucking cool. You have these things that if they see you, you die. So we go through the maze, and we make it to the jumping puzzle. I liked the jumping puzzle. I thought it was cool. People were like, you can't cheese it as a warlock. And then I cheesed it as a warlock. It was really easy. I liked the jumping puzzle a lot. And then we did the Gatekeeper. And I liked Gatekeeper because we actually did it the right fucking way. Alright? Here's how Gatekeeper works. Alright? You all walk up to a door, the door opens, boom, there's Gatekeeper in front of you. He's just a regular old Hydra. You kill him, he drops another shield, and then you take the... You kill him, he drops a shield. Alright? There's 2 Vex platforms on either side. If you stand on a Vex platform, it opens a portal. You go through a portal, it either takes you to the past or it takes you to the future. People didn't realize that, so they thought it was Mars or Venus because the past, looked like Venus, but in the past because you were on Venus, so it was like overgrown and shit. And like the future was like desolated and completely destroyed, so it looked like Mars. So everybody called it Venus and Mars when really it was past and future, whatever. But whatever. So you would either go back in time or forward in time to the Vault of Glass, the same room you were fighting Gatekeeper in, and you would have to kill Gatekeeper again, either in the past or in the future. You'd kill Gatekeeper in all 3 realities. You get a relic, like one of those shields from all 3 of them. You take them to the present, and then you just have them in the present. You'd defend a spire, You wouldn't let Minotaurs take the plates back, because if they did, it would spawn an Oracle, and we know how Oracles kill people. And then that was the Gatekeeper fight. It was easy, but it was fun. Alright, I still think it's one of the funnest fights in Destiny 1. At the time, you know, obviously they make funner fights, like War Priest is better than it, and the Sigils is better than it, but, you know, for the time, it was really good. And then lastly, Big Boy Atheon spawns. Now, luckily, Atheon himself had been patched, because the person who soloed Templar, who found out how to solo Templar, realized that you could solo Atheon the exact same way. So he went Sunsinger mode, and he pushed him back with a million fucking grenades. Like he would just knock him, he would stun lock Atheon and knock him off the cliff. He'd hit the kill box and he'd die. But Bungie was smart enough to make it so Atheon was immune to knockback. So you can't push Atheon off the cliff anymore. And I think even if you do push Atheon off the cliff now, he automatically teleports back up. Which can be told because Atheon touches the ground with his feet, right? Whereas Templar floated in midair, so it couldn't actually tell the difference. Luckily though, they were able to figure it out later, so they patched Templar 2 in Age of Triumph, so you can't push either of them off, so you have to do the fights the right way. So I got to see how Templar worked, and I actually think it's way fucking better than cheesing it, but that's another story. Anyways, Atheon spawns. I'm like, oh fuck, it's Big Boy A himself. And like I was like, all right, what do I do? And then we wiped. And I was like, okay, well, really, what do we do though? And then we tried it, and then we wiped. I'm like, oh, okay, so we have to do this. And then we did it, and we wiped. And basically the way the fight works is, you know, the same gates are there. Past gate, the future gate. In the beginning of the fight, Atheon teleports half your party into one of them. Your party has to say, okay, we're in the past or we're in the future over like TeamSpeak or whatever. The other three who are still on the outside need to open up the portal so y'all can come back. The people who get teleported in need to kill the Gatekeeper and get a relic. Or no, the Gatekeeper's not there. They just need to pick up the relic. And then they need to take it to the future. And then once they have the relic, once they come back to the future, they gain a buff called Time's Vengeance. Where Time's like, all right, fuck you, Atheon. Because the way Atheon works is Atheon exists in the Vault of Glass, and the Vault of Glass always existed on Venus ever since the Vex were there. Therefore, if you shoot Atheon with a bullet, it's like, okay, well, you just shot him with a bullet, but it's okay, because, you know, Atheon is like, okay, say Atheon has 1,000 health, right, and you shoot him with one bullet, that would take him down to 999 health, right? But, you know, if you shoot him 1,000 times, he's dead, right? Wrong, because Atheon exists in all times at the same time. So if you shoot Atheon, he'll just like phase it into some random time, and some random version of Atheon will just get shot at some random fucking moment and be like, ow, that fucking hurt. But it's okay though, because like he healed up by then. So like Atheon just keeps on slipping in and out of time. So if you shoot him, it's whatever. He has infinite versions of himself that can take all the bullets, and all of them would just take like 1 damage and like fucking ant bites. So Atheon doesn't give a fuck. He's just slipping in and out of time, right? But if you get the relic, you gain a buff called Time's Vengeance, where Time's like, all right, fuck Atheon. So for 20 seconds, y'all are able to hit Atheon in every single reality at the same time, right? Which basically just means you could do damage to Atheon. So you come out of the realm. This one dude has the shield. He holds it up. He fucking casts the shield. Big bubble spawns. The Titan puts a Ward of Dawn in the back so everybody can get weapons of light. Everybody steps in and starts shooting the fuck out of Atheon, right? And then he like most likely will have half his health left. Time Vengeance will wear off. He'll teleport half you into the fucking Shadow Realm. You do it again. And then I picked up the relic. I took it to the fucking center and I casted the shield, and it was right there that I went, this is the most badass fucking thing ever. And then Atheon's bitch ass died. And then I got fucking Chatterwhite, which was the shader, which I miss so much. I didn't realize how much I'd fucking miss permanent shaders from raids. And that's the story of the first time I did a raid in Destiny. And it was awesome as fuck. I did Vault of Glass, like, if I counted every single time I did Vault of Glass, normal mode, and hard mode, and put them together, probably about 100 times. I'd say probably about 100 times. I've probably done Vault of Glass probably about 100 times. And I never got Vex Mythoclast. I never fucking got it. It was the only gun I ever wanted. It was the only gun that I ever wanted in Destiny. Alright? I never cared about Thorn. I never cared about Fatebringer. You know, I never cared about Last Word. I never cared about any of these guns. It was always like, oh, I got this gun. That's awesome. I really like this gun now that I have it. But it wasn't something like, oh, I need this. Not even Gallarhorn. I didn't even fucking know about Gallarhorn. I was like, oh, cool, a rocket launcher, great. And then I fucking banked it and kept using Invective. And then one day somebody told me that it was the best weapon in the game. I'm like, yeah, I have Gallarhorn. Look, guys, I have Gallarhorn. You know, that was me. But the only gun that I ever wanted was Vex Mythoclast. It was a primary fusion rifle that fired like a pulse rifle, and in one burst round it could one-shot somebody in the Crucible if it was a headshot. It was the best weapon in the game. I never got it. They nerfed it. I still wanted it, and I still never got it. Never once. Not even now. I still don't fucking have it. And that's probably the only thing I regret about Destiny 1. It's not playing during Crota's End for more than like a week. It's not grinding out every single exotic in the game. It's not any of that shit. It's just that I never got Vex Mythoclast. Alright, that's it. That was my first raid ever. Vlog's over. Bye. Hi. I'm delivering a sandwich right now. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe to the channel and like the fucking video. Thanks. Oh, and watch me Twitch stream. Watch me Twitch stream. Watch me Twitch stream. It's the whole reason I'm making these things. Okay, bye.